In today's session of Divorce Court, Emanuel Black says he was committed to making his marriage to Kinya work.
My mother's dying words was for me to marry Miss Woods.
But he says when he lost his job, the only thing she was committed to was goodbye.
She told me she's moving out with her mother.
Even though your wife took a vow to be with you for better or for worse, you're telling me that she left you?
She says he ruined the marriage.
He's very controlling. He takes advantage of me.
What broke down this marriage?
What broke down the marriage?
Yes.
Now the truth comes out as Kinya Woods and Emanuel Black face off in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Kinya Woods versus Emanuel Black. Mr. Black, I'm advised that after 2 years of marriage, you want to end it. Please tell me why.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I came home one day from work and informed my wife that I lost my job. You know, we had problems in the household prior. So she told me she's moving out with her mother. So I was unemployed, didn't have no type of income coming in. So I had to find another place to live. So I moved in with my sister for a short time.
So just because you lost your job, even though your wife took a vow to be with you for better or for worse, you're telling me that she left you and moved to your mother's house once you became unemployed?
Yes, ma'am.
He lost his job more than once.
So, is that the problem? He lost it more than one time?
I was always there. Every time he lost his job, I was always there.
So what are you telling me is that this was the last time that you were going to stay with him losing his job?
It don't have nothing to do with him losing his job. I don't know why he's bringing it up. It has nothing to do with losing his job.
Well, maybe it does with him, and you just didn't know it. How many times did he lose his job?
He lost his job like 2-3 times.
Oh,
and I was always there. But this don't have nothing to do with him losing his job. I didn't leave because you lost your job.
So why did you leave?
I lost because, you know, he's very controlling. He takes advantage of me.
What do you mean by that?
Like, I do everything. I take care of the house. I take care of, like, the bills. I took care of everything, and he didn't help me do anything.
Well, if he didn't work and you were the one that was working, you said he lost his job all the time.
When he was working, he wasn't helping me. Like, we have a little boy, and he wasn't helping me with him either.
What was he supposed to do that he wasn't doing?
Helping me out, like, basically, like, helping around the house, helping me with my son. I helped him go through school. I mean, if I wanted to leave him because he lost his job, I wanted to help him go through school.
So what do you mean he didn't take your son to school? He didn't cook, he didn't clean, he didn't wash, he didn't iron? What do you mean by help? There's all kind of ways you help each other.
He didn't help me as far as be there, support me. Okay, I wanted to go to school and I couldn't because he wanted to do other things.
Well, he wasn't working, so how you gonna go to school if he's not working and you have a child?
He had a job for a long period of time, okay? And then he lost his job. He only lost his job for maybe three weeks, almost 4 months. For a month, right? And then I was helping him find a job, and, you know, he was just sitting in the house or whatever. But I left because, you know...
That's not true, Your Honor.
What broke down this marriage?
What broke down the marriage?
Yes.
Her cheating ways, Your Honor.
All right, then talk to me about it.
I never cheated on you.
I spoke to a lot of her male friends. I spoke to a lot of them.
What, they called your house? No,
she be with me. We be together. We be hanging out. Her beep was going off 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. They calling me. They calling the beep, so I'm calling numbers back, and I'm asking them why they calling my wife, and they tells me to tell your wife to stop calling me.
So men are calling her 4 o'clock in the morning?
That's why she with me. Yes, ma'am.
No.
What about that?
No. When we were back to, we separated, right? And then we were just not getting along. We wasn't talking or anything. And then I tried to work on our marriage. We went back together for like maybe 3 to 4 months. Okay, then I had a pager. I had other friends, associates, girlfriends, everything. He called everybody I knew. I mean, they were just...
So he took all your numbers off the pager and called everybody?
He called everybody. My girlfriends, male friends, people that I work with. There was some business calls on there, too. He called everybody back.
And what would he say to them when he called?
He harassed half of them. He discussed all my business with half of them. I'm very embarrassed about that because he told all my business to everybody that was on my pager.
What business did he tell?
Like personal business, like, you know, what we did, where we went.
That's
not
true, Your Honor.
To any and everybody?
Yes.
That's not true,
anybody who called me.
So did you have men calling you at 4 o'clock in the morning?
No, I did not.
So that's not the truth?
No.
So they only call you at 2 o'clock in the morning?
No.
They didn't call you at all?
No. I went out. I met people when I was out, and I gave people maybe my cell. I mean my my
any of
paging
these
number.
people men?
Yeah, it was men and women. Yes.
And did they call
people
you?
I seen that I might have known for years? Hey, how you doing? And I gave them my number, my paging number.
All
Your
right.
Honor, like I was,
Move on.
Your Honor, I did come over The next day, 8 o'clock in the morning, she came walking up the stairs. Her hair was not done. This is my wife, Your Honor.
Her hair wasn't immaculate like it is now?
Her hair was not immaculate. She had a jewelry box with Hershey's Kisses in it, and the chain she got around her neck, that's the chain that God bought her for Christmas. That's the Christmas present.
So she came home the day after Christmas with all of this?
Yes.
Why
Yes,
are you
ma'am.
still over there? How'd you get over there at 8 o'clock in the morning?
I came back over 8 o'clock in the morning.
No, he
Why?
did. He was sitting out in my hallway waiting
Excuse
for me
me?
to come home.
I
No, I
said,
can't-
why?
Because
We wasn't
I was
together.
I thought we were still together. I was I knew something wasn't right because she said she was going to bed.
So
She
you
misled
came
me.
back to see what was going on.
Basically true. Because I could took my son with me, and me and my son could have went home.
You came back because you were suspicious
Yes.
something was going wrong.
Yes.
So you doubled back early in the morning to
Yes.
see if you could catch her doing something.
Yes, ma'am.
And you did catch her.
And I caught her. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, did you see her get out the car with this person?
No, she came walking up the stairs, and she had a jewelry box in her hand with her. She had a jewelry box in her hand, and a gift. She had a jewelry box in her hand.
And her hair wasn't combed.
And her hair wasn't
So
combed.
that said to you that she'd been out somewhere,
Yes. The
sleeping somewhere.
first thing she did, basically, was went in her pocketbook and gave me the ring that I bought her back for Christmas. I bought her a diamond ring for Christmas.
she gave it back to you?
She said, I told you it was over. So I left. But before I left, I asked for my cell phone.
So she gave your cell phone back?
Yes, ma'am.
And then what'd you do when she gave your cell phone back to you?
I
I
called
didn't
the
give it back
guy.
to him. He stole my phone.
What do you mean he stole it?
He came in my house. He was yelling with me in the hallway. My mother opened the door because she knew all business out in the hallway.
That's not true, Your Honor.
And we went in the house. He went and stole my purse and took the phone out of my purse.
That's
So
not
you
true,
told
Your
him
Honor.
you were going to take that cell phone back.
I had a
I took
police
my
report
cell
on it.
phone back, Your Honor. I did not take
You
it
didn't
out
take
no
it
purse.
back. You stole it out my
was laying on the
purse.
counter.
Well, you know what, Mr. Black, I can't believe
My witness
that if
came with
she
me to the
asked you
police
for a
station.
cell phone and you gave her a cell phone, that she voluntarily said, oh, by the way, take your cell phone back because I no longer want a phone.
No, but I'm obligated for the bill, Your Honor, because it's under
So
my
then
credit.
you got the cell phone, right?
But I bought the cell phone for her.
I understand that.
Yes.
So you took it back.
I took it back because she.
And then you
I was under the
proceeded to
assumption
check
that
out
she
the
wasn't
numbers.
going to pay the phone bill because she
All right.
didn't. The phone company called the phone, was like, how come you haven't sent the payment? And I'm like, what payment? She was supposed to pay the phone bill.
I didn't receive any.
So, all
got
right,
it.
so now she wasn't paying the bill. How much is the bill?
$237 for 1 month, Your Honor.
I didn't receive any bill.
$237 for 1 month?
For 1 month because
That's a lot of phone calling, Miss Woods.
She did not pay the phone bill.
You checked out the numbers on the phone?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see the bill. And you got some numbers circled there, colored.
Yes.
What are those numbers?
Those are the male friend that she was seeing, the person I called after the phone. Once
I
I
have
retrieved
his
the
cell phone record too. When we were together, and all he did was call women. Okay.
Oh, so both of you traded back and forth.
No.
So I see you made that call on Christmas Day to this number.
When we were together, he was making phone calls to other women.
So how do you know he was calling other
Because
women?
I have his phone record. When I was at his house, when he
What's the
went.
dates on them bills, Your Honor?
I don't care about the dates on the
Well,
bill.
I
You
do.
did
You
it
said
when we
that
was
they were
going
when you
together.
were married. I care
You
about
said
it.
we was not
We were
together.
married. We were married. We were together when you made these phone calls.
So you have yours circled and highlighted
Yes,
too?
I do.
Let me see.
Your Honor, those are not.
Oh, these are not your numbers.
No, those are my numbers, but you know, that's my phone bill. Yes.
Uh-huh. Were you married in September?
We was
Yes.
married in September.
Were you living together?
No, ma'am.
Oh, you're saying you were separated.
We were
Like she
together,
said,
but
we
we were
was
trying to work
separated.
on it at that
Like she
time.
said, we were separated.
We was
That
trying to
phone
work on
bill.
it at that time.
According to my court papers, you didn't separate until December. And I just see a couple of phone calls made in September. You're saying you were separated.
That was she said.
I'm asking you the question.
Yes, ma'am. But then I bought like I said.
So is that the reason why you didn't trust him, he didn't trust you?
That's a big point. That's the big issue. There was no trust nowhere.
When divorce court returns, Kinya's witness takes the stand.
The thing I don't like is the way he talks to her.
Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? Take your case to a new court show and be represented by a prominent attorney. Call 877-777-0099. Divorce court is back in the case of Emanuel Black, who says his wife Kinya left him just because he lost his job.
I have a witness. Maybe she can tell me something better than what you all are saying. Come forward. What's your name?
Eve
Eve what?
Holmes.
Miss Holmes, who are you? You
Her
related to
girlfriend.
these people?
I'm her girlfriend.
You're her friend.
Yes.
What do you want to tell me?
I've witnessed his temper. That's
And
why
what
I'm
have
here
you
to
witnessed
witness
about
his
his
temper.
temper?
I've witnessed that he is controlling and that his temper is ridiculously outrageous on
Okay,
several
and give
occasions.
me some ridiculously outrageous examples.
Okay, one occasion, I beeped the horn when they were living together. They were together. I beeped the horn to tell her to come downstairs because we were going to go out or whatever, hang out like girls do. And she came down and she told me that, you know, she wanted to go out or whatever. So we're get ready, prepared to hang out. And right before we leave, he yells out the window, "Get upstairs now!" So she goes upstairs because, you know, she don't want any big confrontation outside. So they live on the 3rd floor. They lived on the 3rd floor. And I'm waiting in the car, and I hear all this noise, all this arguing and banging, crash, crash, boom, boom. That right there
From
is
the 3rd floor?
From the 3rd floor. And
What
I'm
did you
outside
hear?
in my car.
So he lives right up, they live on the front?
They lived on the 3rd floor in the front.
And
The
what
windows in the front.
What type of noise did you hear?
I heard him yelling at her. I heard them yelling back and forth.
And what was
Things
he telling
like
her?
that.
She couldn't go out?
Right. That's basically what it was about.
Are you married?
No, I'm not.
Your Honor,
And wait a minute, and your best friend over here, she's your best friend?
Yes.
She's not, she's married. And you guys like to hang out like girls like to do, right?
Right.
And there's a conflict between her hanging out with you and being with her husband.
No, that's not the problem at all.
yes,
What
it
is the
Your
problem?
Honor.
We,
It is the
we didn't
problem.
even hang out like that.
I'm asking a question. What is the problem?
The problem is his temper. And the thing I don't like is the way he talks to her. Okay, sometimes
You
she
don't
gets
like
a little timid. I don't like the way he talks to her. No, I don't, because sometimes she won't stand up for herself sometimes. And when I see things that I feel like, you know, I'm like, you know, you're going to let him, you know, talk to you like you're a child or anything or something like that. You're not going to speak up for yourself. And like, get upstairs right now. I think that was, I mean, if you're her husband, you're going to, you know, say to her, can you come upstairs or can I talk to you for a minute? There's no need for you to yell out the 3rd floor window, get upstairs right now like he's her child.
Well, you know, Mrs. Holmes, is that what your name?
Yes.
I think that may be your interpretation of the way a relationship should be.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that girlfriends have a problem doing
Right.
is always trying to tell another girlfriend how she should or shouldn't respond to her mate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not suggesting that that's the way he should talk to her. But the point is that if she's the person who has to deal with her husband like that.
Right. I've never butted in. She always came to me and told
Yes,
me,
she
well,
did,
look,
Your
this
But you
is
just
what's
said
going
that
on.
you were there.
I was
Yeah,
there.
she's always
I was
there.
there.
Every
Your
time
Honor,
something
that's-
happens, she's always there. But
What did you just say? Always there.
what I'm saying, when I had to go out with her, I had to like plan to go out with her, and I'll still get in trouble with him because I done planned to go somewhere.
because I don't approve
So
of her
he-
ways, Your Honor.
You don't approve of her ways.
May I explain the situation?
And he don't even know her like that to prove us
Your Honor,
anything.
Wait a minute, I don't need Miss Holmes staying up here. So this was on a regular basis. He didn't let her go out with her girlfriends, and you call that controlling?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So have you ever been married?
No, I haven't.
All right. Have a seat. Anything else you want to tell me?
That's all.
Your
Have a
Honor,
seat.
Your Honor, I bought the cell phone for her. Mm-hmm. The cell phone was in my name, but she was supposed to be responsible for the bill, but she never paid the bill.
So now you're mad about the cell phone bill.
He gonna
I'm
be
basi-
mad. He gonna be mad about it. He's gonna be mad.
I'm go-
He has other women.
I don't have no
call
women.
him and
Okay,
So
everything.
you're
and it
mad
doesn't
about
matter.
the cell phone bill, right?
Your Honor, all right, Your Honor, I'm gonna break it down to you plain and simple, Your Honor.
Well, you better hurry up because I didn't give you enough time.
All right, my mother's dying words was for me to marry Miss Woods, my wife, Kinya. You know, so we had problems in the past, but we worked them out.
He had problems in the past.
Okay,
and
but
worked
you're
out
not going to
away.
work out these problems now, obviously. The two of you don't speak the same language. You think because you're married that she shouldn't hang out with her friends. You don't trust Miss Holmes.
But
So
why
what do
did
you
you
want
leave
from
me
the
in
court
bad
today?
terms?
To court today, being that he's so obsessive and controlling, he kicks the dent in my car and he breaks the doorknob off my car. I cannot get on my side of my car. I got a brand new 93 car and I cannot even get in my driver's side of my car.
Your
You
Honor,
have some
I have-
estimates of the damages?
I have estimates, a car, police report, pictures.
Let me
you
see.
know, and I had to pay just to get the estimate done. Okay.
I have the-
in reaction,
Just hold on.
in reaction for him kicking and denting my car. Yes, I did kick his car back because he messed up my whole side of my car.
So this is a kicking car
I
case.
had to go upstairs. I had to go upstairs and get his sister and call, and so because I was about to call the cops on him. What I did call the cops, but I left and went down to the police station anyway and got the report done.
Your Honor, I
'Cause-
kicked the car 2 years ago.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Does it matter if it was 2 years ago or if it was yesterday? Did you repair it when you kicked it?
No, he didn't.
No, because she did damage to my car. And she did damage to my car.
Can I see a date on this police report? This is just in December, right before you separated. According to the police
We
report.
officially separated in February. We was trying off and on between.
That's what I said. This was done in December before you separated. That was my statement. Did you hear me or not?
Yes.
Oh. And the estimate is $721. The police report itemizes what the damages were, what they observed on the car. The estimate from the auto mechanic says the same thing.
But I didn't do, I don't know nothing about no damages to a car. I never.
You don't know anything about
damages.
it.
You
I
did
kicked
it.
her car, Your Honor. I put, it was a little dent. I put a little dent on the side of her car.
Is worth $721. Now, what are you talking about the damages to your car? When was that done?
The same day he kicked my car. And
So
he
how
broke
much
my
were the
door.
damages to your car?
The damage to my car was $2,000.
$2,000 from a kick from this woman right here?
No.
No, she did more than
my
just
foot is
kick
not
my
even
car.
that big. My
What
foot
did
is
you
not
do?
even
You
that
just
big.
kicked the car and what else?
She put a dent in my hood
How did she do that? With her foot?
with a foot, with a boot. And she chipped the paint and she put a hole in my bumper, Your Honor.
With her foot?
No, I did
And
not.
it cost
I did not do
$2,000
that.
worth of damage?
I did not do that.
You know what? You need to register your foot as a deadly weapon if you did all that.
No, Your Honor.
I did not do
Your Honor,
that.
she
You
damaged,
better start some
Your Honor,
kickboxing or something.
She damaged my back bumper. But my whole estimate on my car was
$2,000 worth of damage for a back bumper?
She did not do $2,000 worth of damage. I
What?
rephrased that.
I already know that.
When divorce court returns, the judge renders her verdict. And an update on the case of Rita Wins versus Eric Wins.
Girls were there. One thing led to another, and
Ain't no one thing led to another. You laid up with somebody, took your little stuff out your pants and had sex.
Divorce court will be back in session in a moment. Divorce court is back in the case of Kinya Woods, who says her husband Emanuel's jealousy ruined their marriage.
She did like $500 worth of damage to my car, Your Honor.
$500 damage.
Yes, ma'am.
Kicking in and denting inside with her foot.
Yes, ma'am. Because I drive an Infinity, even though that's irrelevant to this case. And the paint I got 3 coats of paint. It's 3 coats of paint.
You have anything to establish how much damage she did to your car?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
What about that phone bill? You have anything to prove what the balance of the phone bill is?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see that. She do $2,000 worth of damage with her little feet to a car. My goodness. So now you owe him for the phone bill $237.54. Now, I don't know what, he does not have to pay for your cost to someone else. That does not help the relationship at all. It's not benefiting the community. You damaging her car did not benefit the community, did not help her at all, nor you. So you owe her for all of the damages to her car. What did I just say? All of it. $721.22 worth. So she owes you the difference in what I just said. So you're going to end up paying a net difference to her of $483.68. Mr. Black, you will pay to Mrs. Woods. That's the order of the court. Court's adjourned.
Rise.
When divorce court returns, an update on the case of Rita Wins versus Eric Wins.
I can't raise this little girl and look at this little girl and know that she came from an affair, a one-night stand because he was drunk.
Closed captioning for divorce court provided by. Are you involved in a dispute with a neighbor, friend, relative, or business person? To appear before a real judge on a new court show, call 877-777-0099. And now for an update on a previous case in divorce court. Rita Wins was 7 months pregnant with husband Eric's baby, but she wanted a divorce because he'd had a child with another woman.
This should have been his first daughter. I found out a week ago that this is going to be his second daughter.
girls were there. One thing led to another, and
Ain't no one thing led to another. You laid up with somebody, took your little stuff out your pants and had sex.
apparently something happened.
Your sperm got into her egg, they connected, and you conceived and had a baby. That's
true.
what happened.
That's true.
I can't raise this little girl and look at this little girl and know that she came from an affair, a one-night stand because he was drunk.
You can't bring this child and give the child love?
I cannot, not in my home.
Rita said she paid $2,700 in support for another child Eric had before they were married. The judge ordered Eric to pay Rita the money and give her $600 a month for the child they were expecting. Rita has given birth to a baby girl, but is hurt that Eric has shown almost no interest in this child. Meanwhile, Eric is fighting for custody of the baby he had from the one-night stand and says he loves both babies equally.
I feel that the verdict was fine. It's just that he's a total liar, he's very controlling, and I think the verdict was very well.
I didn't do no $700 worth of damage to her car. I probably did like $100 worth of damage. And plus, I did that damage 2 years ago, but she just told the judge I did the damage in December, so I don't know what to believe.
He really needs to grow up and get some responsibility for himself and get some counseling.